Okay, this is my semester reflection video for Journalism 301 news reporting. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is the chapter that I chose to speak about in our textbook. And the chapter that I chose was number 5, documenting the investigation. And as I was, looking through all of the chapters in this textbook, this was the one that really stuck out to me that I wanted to talk about because I feel as though it is currently the most prevalent in what is wrong with journalism and what is viewed in the negative light with journalism. In that, we see all sorts of quote unquote fake news and things of that nature that, are really kind of giving journalism a bad name and news reporters a bad name. And a lot of the times you see that, there are no investigations being documented properly, or if they are, it's not done well enough. More and more now than ever, I feel there's a lot of just, accusations and rumors that are thrown around. And, instead of them being verified, these news places run with it, and it creates, all sorts of good in ratings terms, I suppose, but bad in the art of journalism itself, and what the people who did it a long time ago wanted journalism to be. In that it's cold hard truth, it's facts, and everything is 100% right. Like, there is no opinion in it. It is just it is what is the truth. And I feel over time we've sort of lost that, whether it be through the tabloidy stuff like TMZ, or just even now it has spread its way into politics, in that anything can be just labeled false by someone, and then there's this 50-50 split. And if we document the investigation and go through things, it says here in the textbook on page 57, useful documents for an investigative reporter, things like audits and phone records and contracts and things of that nature. If there is more evidence and more fact-check things that go into a story or an investigation, then it's harder to be claimed as false. And it seems that a lot of the times people are quick to the gun on social media and things like that, and they don't take the time to properly fact check sometimes, which sort of leads into the second part of this video, which is social media and journalism and the connection that those two have. And that social media is very important now. There are a lot of people out there who their news source is social media, Twitter especially. People get up in the morning, the first thing they do is open up the Twitter app and scroll through the trending and go to their different lists and pages, and get their dose of news that way. So with journalism, you run this gray area of, you want to be first, you want to be getting the news out there as quick as possible, but there's a risk reward in that sometimes people want to be quick and that they don't fact check some of their stuff. And then that's where you get the false news out there, and it causes a stir, it causes controversy, and then everyone's doing that, and then you don't know who to believe, and then you get the he said she said aspect of things. And people care a lot about getting stuff out onto social media as opposed to waiting for something to print in their next paper, or get published onto their website. Because social media is snappy. It is now. It's here. It is. You see it, and you scroll through, and it's gone. So you want to be that person that people know. Hey, if there's something going on, you want to be associated with a certain topic. As such as news, or anything with say this past election. You want to be that name that people go into the search bar to type to try and get their dose of news. And sometimes people are too quick, and they care more about the like and the retweet than they do the fact. And that's definitely a problem that I don't know that I see going away anytime soon, as we transition more and more online, especially with this pandemic that we're currently in. The art of the guy on the bicycle going around the street tossing the paper to your front door, it's going away. And everything is online, on your phone, on your laptop. And yeah, social media is it's now, and it will be the future until proven otherwise. And then leading into the last part of this video is, for an incoming student coming into Journalism 301 next semester or whenever, taking this class provides you with a lot of great opportunity to get your reps in, to, work on your craft, really kind of find out, what section of reporting you enjoy, if it's more of the writing aspect you like, the going through your work and editing it, if that's more your speed, you get a lot of opportunities to do that. Unfortunately, with the semester that I took it in, currently going through a pandemic, doing interviews and things like that were a little tougher, as we can't really do things in person that easily anymore, and a lot of people aren't super quick to respond or get back to you. And I found myself doing a lot of email interviews this semester, or the occasional Zoom, which in a way does take away from the aspect of going and meeting in someone and asking these questions and getting this face-to-face interaction, and then taking your notes back and writing an article about it. It's different. It's almost easier in a sense now that you've taken the travel out of things, and you have a recording. Say you're doing it on Zoom, and both sides have agreed to record. Then you have that, and it's right there. It's easy to access. It's easy to refer back to in your writing, as both things can be on your laptop, so to speak. Going through some of the assignments, you get an opportunity to talk about public health, which was the last assignment that we had, and especially now with public health, it's considered as in danger as ever, at least since I have been alive. So you really get to tackle what's going on now, and assignments are going to vary from semester to semester depending on what is going on. Luckily or unluckily, however you want to look at it, mine was during a global pandemic. So that was the focus of a lot of my writing. But there was also an election and things like that. So you also get to talk about higher education as a whole, which I again focused mine on COVID based off of the interaction that the pandemic and higher education has had because of that. But that just because there was that going on, I could have written about anything to do with higher education, as there are a lot of topics. Had an obituary to write, which is something that you never really think about when you get into the journalism field. You never think about okay, when's the next time I'm going to write an obituary, but and I guess I did get to practice that in Journalism 204 as well, but it's definitely a nice change of pace. And then you also we previewed the Journalism Hall of Fame event, which is another different style of writing, where you have a set list of things that is going to happen and you are previewing such, and there's not a lot of room for you to insert your own sort of wording in there. Everything is written out for you. You're just making it into a nice, neat, concise article. And we also had to do a reporting assignment where we recapped that Hall of Fame event, and sifted through some of the interviews, and recapped what had happened there. And then also there was a podcast that we got to do, which I personally enjoyed. Our podcast was COVID-19 related, because in the news 99% of the time, aside from the election, COVID-19 is the main focus, and it probably will be for the foreseeable future. But a podcast is a great way for you to ramble. You can talk about what you want to talk about inside of whatever topic it is that you're, making your podcast about. And it's a great, way for you to work on your speaking. You can record a podcast as many times as you want. And over time, when you've got to maybe report in, your future field, you can think back to, hey, those few podcasts that I did really sort of, got my speaking a lot better, and things like that. So, that is how I would say that this class is, it's really going to, let you find who you are as a writer. And Professor Hartman did a great job of, challenging us in class, asking questions, making us think about the topics that we were talking about. And it's definitely it's necessary to take if you are a journalism student here at the University of Kentucky.